It's a good indicator.
And tonight it's the Magpies' turn to play host to Footscray. The Wood started the year with a drubbing at Subiaco, but have bounced back in stylish fashion to record wins over Carlton and Sydney. The Bulldogs likewise skittled the Swans, but also last week got overrun by the West Coast Eagles. At Princes Park, the Hawks were trying to put 4 quarters together after being thrashed by Essendon and getting a fright from Richmond. Their opponents, the Brisbane Bears, were looking for a repeat of their upset win last year at Carrara on the AFL Today.
Park, and all set for the opening bounce between Collingwood and Footscray. This will be the pattern of day. Play throughout the day. Heavy rain, in fact, over an inch, as Monkhorst tries to get through after that centre bounce, but can't. He loses it. Wigney also tries to get the handball away. Liberatore is flattened. Wallace gets a quick kick, but it'll come back, and the free kick will go the way of Footscray's Tony Liberatore.
Great work there by Liberatore. Sandy to get in on the bottom of the pack and rewarded for his efforts.
Strong southeasterly breeze blowing diagonally across the ground here at Victoria Park, so it's going to be tough in the pockets. Liberatore towards half forward. That ball sitting up a little in the air, but still a good mark taken by Coleman. Wants to play on, is forced to now, goes back and tumbles a kick up towards Grant, who takes the mark in front.
Well, that was 2 good marks, wasn't it? Within 15 or 20 seconds. The first one by Coleman was well judged, and this one by the youngster Grant, who has shown us plenty in the first 3 weeks of the 1990 season. A very promising type for the Bulldogs.
Kicked 3 in the 3rd quarter last week against the Eagles. Now looking to get Footscray away to a good start. Drop punt is on its way, and no worries. First goal to the Dogs. So Footscray lead, 1 straight goal. Collingwood yet to score.
And Footscray have shown that they're going to really have a good dip here at Victoria Park. It's always difficult for the teams to come out here and win. And I guess the Bulldogs would be very, very fired up. The odds are certainly against them. I believe that you could get something like 6 or 7 to 1 Footscray before this game. And surely, man on man, this will be a great clash.
And Collingwood have won 15 of their last 16 home games.
Yes, very important statistics when we're talking about taking games away from Victoria Park. The bounce, wind, Steve Wallace, left foot kick under pressure to centre half forward. Williams can't take it. Kicked away by Christian for Collingwood. Back towards half forward. Going back was Foster, couldn't take the mark. Good gather by Banks. He's looking to give the hand pass away. Now elects to kick the ball towards half forward. A good mark taken by Wigney at centre half back for Footscray. He's got players loose on the outer side. Now goes back, a little confused, I would have thought. The kick goes straight across the field, marked by Terry Wallace in the back pocket. A little slow to get his kick away, but it's effective. Mark was taken by Hogg, not paid. Now a free kick has been paid by the central umpire, Andrew Coates, who, by the way, is the son of the former umpire Ian Coates, who passed away not so long ago. Wind can't take the mark. Coleman tries to get the ball away. Christian kicks it back to within goal-scoring distance for the Magpies. A gather there by Hannaberry. He seeks the safety of the boundary line, and it goes over for a throw in about 75 to 80 metres around from the Collingwood goal.
Close to the small scoreboard that shows Footscray leading by a goal. Wind, a hurried kick towards the wing. Turner's off. Long towards full forward, flicked over the back. No one at home, however. It's socket off the ground past Graham Wright. Now the race is on the defensive 50-metre line and socket over the boundary line. So a throw in to take place, and doing the defending work was the youngster Leon Cameron, who showed so much against the West Coast Eagles last week. Here's the throw in, and look at that ball just sitting in the wind. Some holding on's been picked up. The free kick is going the way of Collingwood. Down towards centre half forward. A fine attempt to mark. It's not going to be paid to Barwick. Manson gets it to Dacos. Dacos goes into the open goal, and that'll be the leveller. Well, Doug Barwick made a tremendous attempt to mark there. But the ball spilled free to Manson. He got it onto Dacos, and he had no worries. Directly in front, running into an open goal to level the scores at 1 goal apiece here at Victoria Park.
Big job there for the Footscray player, Hannaberry, on Dacos. Very elusive player. Umpire's calling for another ball.
Well, this will be the 3rd one.
Indicating that maybe that is a bit of air gone out of the one that umpire McDonald has got. Now he's asking the Footscray captain, Doug Hawkins, to check. And there is a bit of indecision, so they're going for another football. It's coming from the members' goal area where the emergency umpire is positioned. So play will get underway. 1 goal apiece. The goals coming from Grant for Footscray, Dacos for Collingwood. Collingwood get out of that ruck contest with Krasiska's kick towards half forward. No mark taken. Collingwood have the numbers when the ball hits the ground. Barwick, Hannaberry's there for Footscray. Liberatore, crude tackle. Dacos, look at the skill. Richardson goes for goal and pops it through.
Monkhorst a little too far underneath it. Wine trying to get it out to the side. Socket off the ground by Turner. Only as far as centre half forward. Keenan Reynolds was there, and he's got support. Pushed out wide towards Williams, however. He's got to chase Gaffer. Now gets to him. Gaffer rides the bump, sweeps it wide to Tony Shaw. A veteran of 223 games. Up towards centre wing, wide towards the boundary. Hawkins won't keep it in. And we'll see a throw-in. With Collingwood in attack and leading by 6 points. Wine. Banks from behind, coming in now trying to fend with the right hand, but in doing so has infringed on the Footscray big man Scott Wine.
Little Tiggy Touchwood.
He kicks towards centre wing. Christian in front of Coleman. An attempted flick over the back. Monkhorst wide to the side to accommodate Shaw. Shrugs the tackle. Kicks it high. Hawkins eyes for the ball. Couldn't take it. Right, Krasiska, Turner, Collingwood into attack. Down towards centre half forward. Dacos waits at the front. He has no problems. Manson held it firmly to his chest. Will he kick it, Ian Robertson?
Little too far out. He's gone for the short pass into the pocket. Reynolds is able to knock the ball away and take it over the line for a boundary throw-in. Well, James Manson, not known for his penetrated kicking, but he's fairly effective, Sandy. Kicked a terrific goal here last Monday against the Swans from a very, very difficult angle. One of those check side punt kicks that are famous from over the border. The boundary throw-in, the ball comes back towards Wright, and Wright gets around his opponent, Cameron, pretty easily. Kicks it, disciplined football to the front of the square. Manson can't control the ball. Hits the ground. Tuddenham's in there for Collingwood. A free kick been picked out, and it's going to the Footscray defender, Matthew Hogg. And Matthew Hogg, there's the goal square just behind where he's kicking from. So it was pretty close. Right. The crumbs come down to Cameron. Cameron runs away and kicks the ball over the centre, up towards half forward. Christian gathers the ball. Now he taps it to the advantage of Tony Shaw. He gets it out. Monkhorst. Back it goes now to Saunders. Saunders' kick is an ordinary one. Oh, it goes through both Footscray players. Dougie Hawkins, oh, a little bit big was Monkhorst. Kick off the ground by McGuinness. Kick off the ground again is good play by Tony McGuinness. He gets 40 metres for his side. Tony Shaw in the back pocket. Goes straight across the ground. And a mark there should be taken and is by Keys. Keys for Collingwood, back into the centre. Good play by Christian. Gets the hand pass out to Shane Morwood. Morwood steady. Short pass is effective. In towards the centre, the mark taken by Turner. Turner kicks Collingwood into attack. It's a great pass. And a pretty good lead. Anticipation was perfect by Manson. And he marks 40 metres from goal.
James Manson, who's taken over at the helm for the moment anyway, from Brian Taylor. Had a good game up forward against Carlton when he booted 4. Fair-looking kick off the boot, just going with the breeze, however, here at Victoria Park. And the first blemish goes on the board.
Like that.
2-1. Plays a goal. So the Dogs having to come from behind after Chris Grant opened proceedings for them. That one's over the line in front of the members here at Victoria Park. Overcast conditions. The rain at the moment is staying away, but no doubt we'll have a few showers throughout the afternoon. Wigney tries to thread his way through, goes onto the left foot, pushing it dangerously close to the boundary line. Turner sees it over under pressure from Steve Collingwood. Footscray pushing it slowly into their attacking zone. Coleman, Monkhorst to do the ruck work. Coleman gets front spot, but Monkhorst goes with a right fist through the arms of Leon Cameron, and Wright pursues him over the line. Wind comes over this time to contest with Monkhorst. Wind got it down to Cameron. His clever kick gathered some 30 metres, but straight to Michael Christian. Christian flicks it back, but that's straight to Hawkins. Sporting the long sleeves on this wet wintry day. Oh, courage shown by Krasiska.
Poor effort by Hawkins to kick it there.
He's right in the middle of the ground. He's got Manson lurking up at half forward. It's a beautiful looking drop punt, but maybe a little too far for Manson. Flick wide towards Hawkins again. Doesn't know what to do. Eventually decides to go long. Back towards the centre. Shane Morwood sets himself. Got a hand to it. So too did Coleman. Little too slow. Monkhorst now lopes away. Thunders one in towards half forward. Over the head of Wind. Hawkins close to the boundary line. It's going to be kept in play. Only momentarily taken over by Greg Eppelston. Under pressure. So a throw in Collingwood's right forward pocket.
Collingwood lead by 7 points, 2-1. Footscray, 1 goal. Magpies a chance again. Big punch by Banks. Ball comes out towards Cameron for Footscray on centre wing. With pace and agility, he gets through and kicks it over the wing. Approaching half forward, Christian in front. Oh, good clash there by Mark Williams. And Mark Williams disposes of Michael Christian. Don't think Christian was too impressed with that. Boundary throw in. Bit of a dust up again, Williams and Christian. And umpire McDonald coming in to have a talk to the Collingwood defender and just giving the okay to the boundary umpire to throw it in. So good umpiring there to let the players know that he was certainly around and watching everything that happened. Here's the good player, young Cameron. The short kick marked by Hogg. Loose on the outer half-forward flank as Hawkins he marks. Here's a goal coming up to Footscray. The ball in the goal square. Grant fumbles. Oh, shocking fumble. And Collingwood will get out of trouble. They rush it through from behind to the Bullies. And Terry Wheeler, if you've got any hair left in your head, I would be very surprised. Gee, that was frustrating.
Christian to Richardson. Kicked the goal earlier in the quarter. Alan Richardson kicks towards the wing. Wigney, good mark. And plays on Stuart Wigney. Round the boundary line he goes and then floats it over the line on the full.
Well, that ruined his good work, didn't it?
Yeah.
That was a good mark under a fair amount of pressure by the defender. And he really wasn't under a lot of pressure when he kicked that ball.
So back to Richardson, who sweeps it wide. Has made no ground whatsoever, but they will get out of it eventually. Terry Keys does it the hard way, then spirals it long towards Banks. With him is Foster. Peter Foster gets a favourable bounce, was looking short to go to Wallace. Banks smothered well, pushes it into the middle. McGuinness now in trouble. Look for the free kick, back to Banks, high and wide to the half-forward line. Dacos gives chase, so too Leon Cameron. Cameron gets there first. Wright can't soccer it away from him. It's going to be a good player, Leon Cameron. Steadies into the middle. Coleman flies. Christian spoils. Play on is the call. Turner claimed. Across to Morwood. Into the centre. Thumped wide by Russell, who gets a second bite at the cherry. Foster couldn't take the mark. Wigney couldn't take it cleanly. Dacos tries to go through. Reynolds loses it. Socket off the ground by Wallace, taken by Foster. And eventually the Bulldogs get out of trouble to Tony McGuinness. Close to centre wing. Pushed wide by Stanfield to McGuinness. Only a couple of players in the long sleeves, Hawkins and Stanfield. McGuinness's kick past Coleman and Christian. Back to Monkhorst. Sweeps it wide. Makes 10 or 15 metres and over the line.
I hope the umpires allow the players to do that sort of thing today. Sometimes they interpret that as a deliberate out of bounds, and the conditions are difficult enough today to play decent football. So let's hope that they allow the players to get away with something like that. The ruck contest was pretty good. The ball went forward from young Wind up towards half forward. A free kick has been picked out of it, and it's going to Tony Shaw. Tony Shaw kicks it wide. Oh, nearly a chance there for the Bulldogs, but the ball comes out the back. Key gathers it pretty well. Nearly onto the right foot. There's been a holding incident up at full forward. Umpire coach has picked up that Hannaberry was holding Dacos. So Dacos has got the free kick 30 metres from goal, directly in front. Peter Dacos, who has kicked one goal. Richardson has kicked Collingwood's other goal. Dacos has now kicked 2 goals. Collingwood 3-1, Footscray 1-1.
Last change. Everything was going the Bombers' way. Terry Danaher's long bomb beat defenders to bounce through for his 3rd goal. And after Manning's screamer, the Bombers found some more legs running away to a 78-point win. Craig Huggins, National 9 News.
Melbourne remain
winners by 82 points. 3 goals stood out in the wet conditions. First, Darren Pritchard showed you don't need hands to kick a great goal. Then, not to be outdone, John Platten socked another goal through. And then Dermot Brereton, showing all his Irish heritage, stuck another one through between the big sticks without using his hands.
Well, from the Monkhorst. No one effectively out of the centre. Eventually tapped wide. Down towards half forward. Wigney used the body well. It did open a space, however, for Alan Richardson, who tried to soccer off the ground. Richardson. And then Liberatore. Reynolds soccers in towards the centre. Saunders, tap on to Monkhorst. Oh, tackled high, but he slipped. But he's going to get the benefit right in the middle.
Little fortunate.
Long and low, straight down the middle. Banks couldn't take it. Barwick twists out of trouble, flicks it high. It's coming back, but not enough. So a behind on the board to Doug Barwick and Collingwood.
He kicks the ball prodigious distances, Doug Barwick, doesn't he? Whether he's straight on or around the corner, he
Real
certainly gives it a thump.
This is Stanfield. He'll bring it back into play. Well, he's kicking towards Foster. Graham Wright has to go with him, giving away plenty of height. Tuddenham claimed, loses it. Wright, but the umpire decides to come in and take charge. Well, we've got just on 10.5 minutes of this first quarter remaining. Wind. Monkhorst gets underneath him. Wright couldn't take it cleanly. Spooned out the back door. A chance now for Collingwood. The kick will come from Russell after receiving from Richardson. Over the back it goes. Hannaberry's there on the last line of defence and will clear wide. He's got Hogg running. Uses that player. Now what's Hogg got? He may have to go to Coleman in the centre. If he can get clear, he can't. He goes for Liberatore. Wide to Reynolds, under pressure. But eventually they get out of it to Eppelston. And Eppelston ball to ground once. Then up towards centre half forward. Williams caught napping behind on that occasion. Monkhorst leaves it for the more agile Gafer. He goes to Shaw. And the Maggies out of strife momentarily towards that half-back line. Saunders, trouble with a slippery ball. Now picks it up. Sizes up his options and goes over the boundary line, but not on the full. Collingwood in attack and they lead 3-2 to Footscray. 1-1, the margin 13 points with just on 9.5 minutes remaining.
And the breeze pretty strong, blowing across the ground here at Victoria Park as Liberatore gets the ball to Steve Wallace. Steve Wallace's kick towards half forward. Coleman in the back. Blatant on his opponent, Christian. And Christian will take the free kick for Collingwood. Michael Christian back for his first match of the day season. Great mark taken for Footscray at centre half back by Foster. Peter Foster. Left foot kick back towards half forward. Oh, Coleman. No pace. Christian marks, plays on quickly, gives it to Turner. Turner goes straight towards goal. It's a floating kick. At the back, can Eppelston get there first? He does with courage. Throws himself on the football and hurries it through for a rush behind to Collingwood. Terrific stuff there by Greg Eppleton. That's young Stanfield for Footscray. Kicking the ball into the members' side. Foster can't mark. Nearly holds the ball in. Tuddenham there. Krasiska. Handball over the top. Saunders. High left foot kick. About 40 metres towards goal. Manson can't mark. Barwick at the back. Wigney does pretty well. Can't get the ball away. Tuddenham kicks it off the side of his foot through for a magnificent goal. Oh, great stuff by Paul Tuddenham. Under heaps of pressure. Teammates come in to congratulate him. Collingwood kicked their fourth. Their 4-3, 27, Footscray 1-1-7.
Goals to Tuddenham, Richardson, and 2 to Peter Dacos. But that was a beauty, bending it back. So the Magpies open up a very handy lead. 20 points the margin. Centre bounce. Terry Wallace sends Footscray into attack. Down looking for Hawkins. Went up with the one arm. Christian coming back and has done well. His kick, however, is going to drop short. Wallace couldn't take it initially. That's Terry on to Steve. They're battling hard. Foster pumps one back towards Liberatore. Didn't get a good bounce. Coleman soccers off the ground. Down into Footscray's attacking zone. Can they take advantage of it? Gaffer goes for it. He might just about lose it. He will to Chris Grant.
To the dynamite, Sandy. The umpires on that rule these days.
Grant has kicked one. Footscray's only one.
Well, it'd certainly be a chance here, I would think. The wind blowing from the right-hand goalpost across the face.
So starting
you need to aim it right.
Starting it right, which he does, but perhaps a little too far as he snuck it in. He snuck it in. Good goal. Second goal to Grant, and a handy one for the Dogs. They trail 2-1 to Collingwood's 4-3.
Well, I guess here is an example of where persistence pays off. The Footscray players were never really in the van as far as gathering the football is concerned, but Grant persisted, put the Collingwood defender under pressure. Gaffer, umpire awarded a free kick because the Collingwood player did not try to move it on, and then a goal results.
Wind and Monkhorst once again. Hogg at the bottom. Terry Wallace showing plenty.
Conditions should suit Terry Wallace,
Yeah,
I think, today.
love this. Burrow in. Players like Wallace, Tony Shaw should be seeing a lot of. Coleman takes the hand pass, gets a hurried left foot kick. Gaffer in front to spoil. Does so. Wallace waiting down. Tries to get it even further away. Now Steve Wallace. Gaffer chances his arm. Loses it to Liberatore, but he's quick to apply the tackle, and he's going to be rewarded.
Consistency.
Fine tackle. Off to Morwood. Liberatore chasing, but he gets his kick wide to Tony Shaw. In hot pursuit is Tony McGuinness. And the Collingwood skipper takes it over the line. Been a great player for the Magpies. 29 years old and playing in his 224th game.
Ruck contest. Wind. Hand pass comes out towards the centre. Good gather by Steve Wallace. Gets it off to Hogg. Hogg's left foot kick to centre half forward. Punched away by Shane Morwood. Gather by Turner. The hand pass was smothered, but Christian was there to back up. And Christian for Collingwood kicks it towards half forward. Hannaberry out in front of Dacos. No risks there by Matthew Hannaberry, and he kicks it over the boundary line for throw-in. Right in the middle of the players' interchange area here at Victoria Park. Not far around from the social club. Wind tries to take the ball out. Wigney, attempted kick off the ground by Wright, didn't go very far. Wind is still on the bottom of the pack. Kick off the ground by Banks. Gather by Hawkins. Wright can't control it. Wallace, Terry, off to McGuinness. McGuinness is kicked towards half forward. Coleman in front can't mark. Punched away nicely by Christian over the boundary line for a throw-in. So if the players are going to kick goals, they need to give the forwards a bit of a chance to run at it, because bombing away today just gives the defenders every chance to punch it away. Monkhorst, Krasiska, playing better every year, Gavin Krasiska. Christian's kick towards half forward. Barwick leads his opponent Eppleton under the ball. Reynolds, kick off the ground by Richardson. Dacos, is this goal number 3? Yes, sirree, Peter Dacos. Collingwood 5-3, lead Footscray 2-1.
Shot is wide by Collingwood. Oh, it's a great kick, but it just shaves the post. Great attempt.
There's a good gather too out there on that outer half-forward flank by Collingwood. He's a desperado, that young player. Probably hasn't got the absolute skills of some of the good players in the caper, but really has a go for Footscray.
McKeown coming high towards Monkhorst. He tried to fist it over the back, but Hawkins is the only one there. He's got Wallace calling for it short, and that's who he finds. Terry Wallace stabbing it in towards half forward. Good mark, good juggling mark taken by Shane Morwood, who's got Monkhorst on a half-back flank.
The kick was pretty accurate by Shane Ward. Monkhorst marks, gets back and kicks the ball towards centre wing. Banks can't control it. Collingwood gets the hand pass towards Terry Wallace, and he's like a little beaver. Terry Wallace gets it to Hawkins. Hawkins kicks it quickly, and Wind takes the mark just slightly forward of centre wing, and he's a promising type. Cameron takes the hand pass, kicks it in towards the centre. Good mark taken by Wigney, and he backs himself. The big fellow from 50 metres goes with the left foot. Grant can't mark, gathers well, round onto the right foot. Chris Grant kicks his third goal. So Collingwood 5-3, lead Footscray 3-2, and the Bullies are having a bit of a go here at Victoria Park.
Great play by Chris Grant. And he certainly looks to be an exciting find up forward for the Dogs. He's kicked 3. Their total. Dacos has 3 for Collingwood. And we're going to have our 4th new ball.
Well, the football manufacturers would be happy with this, Sandy, I would think. One wonders sometimes where the football does disappear to. I noticed down there in the goal square that it has come back from over the fence. Interesting how the players react to a new ball too. Sometimes you see marks, clean marks taken.
Let's see what happens this time. Monkhorst gets a second tap at it. Reynolds claim. It spills free, right in the middle. Working hard is Hawkins, but he loses it. Socket off the ground by Coleman. That at least clears it out. Steve Wallace is running wide. McGuinness is in front of him, but Tony Shaw has his measure. Good players. It's pushed towards the outer side boundary line, where we'll find a throw in. Just under 2 3/4 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Pretty good crowd here too at Victoria Park. From the throw in, Morwood, Christian Short. Off he goes, back to Morwood, who couldn't take it cleanly. The ball, although new, slippery. McEwen backs that argument, but recovers to steady. Looks for Turner. Williams intercepts. Graham Wright onto Tony Shaw is clever football. Now Christian from the half-back line. They go in towards the centre. No mark taken. Tuddenham. Krasiska. Back again to Richardson. Kicked the goal earlier, but this time he's wide and going into the pocket. Dacos with Hanbury and over the line.
Endeavour of both sides has been good, Sandy, in the opening quarter. Terrific stuff. This is the first real game that they've been tested.
Throw in front of the Bob Rose stand. Krasiska in from the side. Trying to flick it out the back. Picked up by Russell. Got rid of it quickly. Tuddenham has a shot and kicks a goal. Second goal to Paul Tuddenham. And the 6th to the Maggies. 6-3 to Footscray's 3-2. Now Collingwood going to attack. Krasiska's his target. Waits for the bounce and gets a favourable one as he drifts away from Wallace. Just then goes short to Richardson inside 50 or on the 50-metre line. He bends it back for Dacos, who'll have a shot in the pocket. Great play. So Peter Dacos looking to add to the 3 goals he kicked in the first quarter. With a southeasterly breeze, he'll have to start this towards the right goalpost and bring it back. Exactly like that. Not a problem. 4 goals to Dacos. And Collingwood 8-5 lead Footscray 3-2.
Well, it's amazing that Footscray haven't made a change there. I mean, I guess they're struggling a little bit for numbers, but Steve Wallace perhaps could be given a chance to pick up Dacos. And Matthew Hannaberry, who has been a good player for Footscray over the years as a kick winner or a possession gatherer across the centre line, could be shifted onto the wing. But, well, Footscray still yet to make that change. Hannaberry on Dacos. The bounce or the ball up back in the centre. Footscray go towards half forward. McGuinness tries to dispossess Christian. Jamie Turner gets the kick back towards the centre. Krasiska knocks it in favour of Banks. Back to Tony Shaw. Collingwood into attack up towards half forward. Dacos again. Hand pass off to Richardson. Richardson's kick hits the behind post and it's out of bounds in the right forward pocket. Collingwood's teamwork pretty good there to get the ball out of the centre crunch. Ruckman, wind over the top. Manson struggling hard. McGuinness with Reynolds for Footscray to get it out of their back pocket area. Wigney's held. Dacos, a flying shot by Dacos, just misses to the left. And the Ansett windsock now looking rather menacing over the top of those goals. The wind is very severe coming from the southeast as Stanfield kicks the ball back into play for Footscray.
Wallace gets it off to Reynolds. From a standing start, he goes towards Liberatore. With him is Saunders. Saunders hammers towards the boundary line. Now Hawkins tends to prop over it, then push wide to Hogg. Tackled high and will be free kick. Matthew Hogg. Says, what do I do? Where do I go? He's got Monkhorst in that half-forward area, so he spirals a punt kick towards Hawkins, but Morwood backs up superbly. Hogg gets a touch to it again under great pressure from Terry Keys, and it's pushed over the line. Hannaberry, the change has been made. Hannaberry is off, and Atkins is his replacement from the throw-in. Again, it sits. And Steve Wallace now has the job of minding Peter Dacos. So a big job for him. Hogg. His handball is not cleanly away. Tony Shaw and McGuinness, and it's Shaw who just paddles it towards the line. (8-6) plays 3-2, favouring the home side, the Magpies. Monkhorst with the right arm. Shaw got a hand pass away. Atkins looking for his first touch. Won't get it as Terry Keys brings it up towards centre wing. Foster and Banks. Reynolds does well to get his kick away, but straight to Tony Shaw.
Tony Shaw between half-back and
50.
the centre. Plays on quickly. No.
50.
The umpire is asking the ball to go back to the Collingwood skipper. 50-metre penalty against the Footscray player McGuinness for not coming back on the mark. And that's a decent 50 metres. It's taken the ball right up to the 50-metre line. Tony Shaw now, short pass in towards full forward. Out in front, Manson can't mark. Gathered by Atkins, a slick hand pass back to Steve Wallace. Steve Wallace's short pass finds Hogg. He's got no one to kick it to. He goes for the hand pass over the top. The athletic Glenn Coleman gets the ball and kicks it towards Grant. Grant at half forward. Handball over the top. Atkins has bumped off the ball, but he flips it out to the advantage of his teammates. It's Terry Wallace. He slips over in the muddy centre. Back to Atkins. He fumbles the ball. The kick by Collingwood back towards half forward. Tuddenham tackled when he didn't have the ball. Tuddenham will take the free kick, and I would have thought maybe a little fortunate, although I called it. Tuddenham short pass. Tony Shaw runs past the 50-metre line. Tony Shaw goes for goal. The kick is not quite long enough, and it floats away with the breeze. In the marking contest, there's been a free kick paid to Manson. Stanfield indicating that Manson had hold of his jumper, but umpire Andrew Coates has given the free kick to James Manson deep in that forward pocket. So the awkward kicking style of James Manson will be tested here. Concentration pretty good. Effectiveness perfect. Manson goals. Collingwood kick their ninth.
Great start in this second quarter to Collingwood. 9-6, 60. Blitzing Footscray by 40 points. They're 3-2-20. As Ian said, Manson kicked his first. Dacos has 4, Tuddenham has 3, and Alan Richardson has 1, whilst for Footscray, their solitary goal scorer is Chris Grant, and he has kicked 3. Back in the middle again. Can Footscray stop this run? Monkhorst wins it. Atkins, body over the ball. Banks soccers it further forward. Foster tries to stop it. Now Liberatore. Wide towards Davies, who's on the ground. Can't take it. Krasiska can. Here they come again. Down towards half forward, and Banks. Wright is with him. Banks keeps it in play. Pulls it back nicely. Barwick's at the back. If he can get clear, he's got Dacos running with him. Clever tap towards Dacos. Back to Barwick. They've got rid of one. Barwick pulls it back. What a goal! What play!
Who can you bank on here on the land? Who will be there when you need a hand? Who can you bank on, come rain or come shine, when you've bent your back time after time? Who can you bank on? Who can you trust? You can bank on Westpac. You can bank on us.
Now, the news service for the 90s is presented by Jennifer Kite. Today's news. 7 nightly news with Jennifer Kite at 6.
Win a BMW. To celebrate United AutoSound's new Oakley store, simply purchase one of these and we'll give you the chance to win a $120,000 BMW 535IS and a Pioneer compact disc system. United AutoSound's Win a Bimmer competition. Rush into a store near you.
King G Workwear. Made to handle anything.
Here's the car. Let's get out of here.
Hey, drop that! Hey, get this off me!
Going someplace? King G Workwear. If they were any tougher, they'd rust.
Satisfaction is never out of reach at the Pancake Parlour.
Take a swift look at the range of Suzuki Swifts. For a start, the Swift GA is officially the most economical car in Australia, with automatic also available. Moving on quickly is the Swift GTI that reaches 100 kilometres an hour in just 8.6 seconds. And the last word in family fun is the 1.6 sedan in manual or automatic that combines swift performance with the convenience of 4 doors and bags of room to boot. Suzuki Swift from only $11,990.
Seven's big comedies keep coming. Sunday, Bette Midler and Lily Tomlin are 2 sets of mixed match twins.
Me with a bad haircut.
In the biggest mix-up of their lives. Big Business. That's right! And Monday, Steve Martin, Chevy Chase and Martin Short are the most unlikely heroes you'll ever meet.
The Three Amigos!
Sunday, it's Big Business. Monday, the Three Amigos.
They're funny guys.
I'll come back one day.
Why?
Jennifer Kite heads the professional team that works day in, day out to keep you informed. Accurate, concise, reliable. The news for the 90s is 7 Nightly News with Jennifer Kite.
And after trailing by 50 points at three-quarter time, Footscray got to within 3 goals in the end. But time and the Maggies' big lead did beat them. Dacos 6 and